So today we are comparing the Uppababy stroller and car seat system with the Doona. These are two of the most popular, most premium travel systems out there, and both have their pros and cons. So this is the Uppababy Mesa car seat with the Menu stroller. So Uppababy makes a line of different products, and the main difference between them is their size and the accessories they come with. This is kind of the middle of the range. So let's start by comparing the price of the two. The Uppababy is a system with different parts. So the Mesa car seat, which comes apart and separate from the stroller, is $299. The stroller it attaches to is $399. And then you have to buy these pieces to actually attach the two together, which is another $25 and brings the whole thing to about $725. The Doona, on the other hand, is $550. And that's it. It's all in one. It's your car seat, it's your stroller, it's everything. So at first, the Doona appears to be cheaper by about $175. But keep in mind that when your child outgrows the Doona, you're done with the Doona. With the Uppababy, on the other hand, you can remove the infant car seat, put in the stroller seat that it comes with, and you have a stroller that will last you for years. So assuming after the Doona you get a stroller that's less than $175, you're coming out ahead with the Doona. Spend more than that, and the Uppababy is ultimately cheaper. So in the end, there's very little price difference. The price generally isn't the deciding factor between the Uppababy and the Doona. So what is? Convenience. The main difference is what you do with the travel system, and when you get in and out of the car is where I find it makes the most difference. Your daily life, going about running your errands. So with the Uppababy, you first remove the car seat, and keep in mind there's usually a baby in it. You set the car seat aside. You then have to flip the two attachments in. But then with that, you can push two buttons and typically with one hand collapse it. When you get back to the other end, you can get the stroller, uncollapse it with one hand, put those back out, and reattach the seat, which is a little finicky, but you start to get the hang of it after some time. The Doona is significantly different. With the Doona, you simply lower the handle, pull a lever on the back, and collapse it down. It's all one piece. All you simply do is do that. When you get back out of the car, you pull the baby out, put the wheels out, and extend the handle. Now, that's a major difference when you're in and out, because with the Uppababy, you're always in the trunk. You have to pull the baby out, pull the stroller out of the trunk, put them together. On the other end, you have to pull the stroller out of the trunk, pull the baby out, put this back together. With the Doona, it's all one piece. You grab the baby and you go. So the Doona is way easier and way more convenient, but what's the trade-off? First, weight. The Doona is heavier to pick up than simply the car seat off of the Mesa. However, I don't find it to be significantly heavier, and most of the weight comes from the baby. So the weight difference is not a huge thing, at least for me. You'll notice the size is very different. The Uppababy, your child's higher and closer to you, and the Doona, your child's very far down because it all goes into one thing. The Doona is also significantly smaller. That makes it easier to navigate, easier to get around corners, easier in crowds, it's easier to handle. However, you will notice that the footprint of the Doona, even when collapsed, is pretty large. Whereas the footprint of the Uppababy, once collapsed, is a lot smaller. So if you're storing the stroller in a coat closet or something like that, this will take less space. The smaller size of the Doona, however, makes handling significantly easier. It's easier to get around corners and through crowds than it is to navigate the Uppababy. Now, a lot of people ask me, if you're really tall, is it hard to get to the Doona because it's so low? I'm about 5'10", but I've had taller people try this, and they've had no problem. People also say they like to put the handle down and let their smaller children push the stroller sometimes, so some people see that as a benefit. The other major difference is storage. So the Uppababy has a pretty significant amount of storage on the bottom, where you can put groceries or things you're buying along the way, whereas the Doona has absolutely no storage at all. Zero. There are a couple accessories you can buy for the Doona to make that work. So the first is a bag that attaches to the back of the Doona here, and it's pretty easy. It attaches right here on the back through two things that clip onto the part of the Doona here on the side. The problem is, once you attach this to the back, you can't fold the Doona up. So the major convenience factor of the Doona is eliminated once you add any storage at all. The bag also has no pockets and is fairly hard to keep organized. But there's another option. The other option is a Doona bag that looks like this, that simply attaches right to the handle, like this. It's not very large, but it does have pockets, and it becomes your diaper bag. It can fit all your stuff, your diapers, your change of clothes, your wipes, all of that stuff. And the best thing is you can collapse the Doona and keep the bag right there on it. The other thing to note is while the Uppababy does have storage on the bottom, you can't fold up the stroller with the storage there. So it's nice for getting groceries from the grocery store to the car, but it doesn't become your mobile diaper bag. You still have to have a diaper bag, and you have to find one that somehow attaches to the stroller if you want it to work like the Doona does. So the Doona is much more convenient day to day, but the Uppababy is a little bit more convenient for shopping and things where you need some storage on board. Now for travel, the Doona is fantastic. It's so easy to collapse it into one piece and put it straight onto a conveyor belt or whatever to check it onto an airplane. Now I did gate check the Doona at a flight. Checked it at the side of the plane and picked it up at the side of the plane. And one of these legs that's completely folded underneath completely broke in half. That makes me question the safety of the Doona a little bit. Now, I can't tell you about the safety of the Uppababy versus the Doona because, knock on wood, I haven't been in a car accident, but I do question the safety based on my experience with the airline with the Doona. So that's the Uppababy versus the Doona. They're both great strollers and great systems. The Uppababy will grow with you a little bit more than the Doona will, but you can't beat the Doona for convenience. It is simply so easy to put your child in and out of the car and fold up the thing. You don't have the child in the back seat while you're in the trunk or vice versa. It's just so easy. I would also note the Doona has headrest protection. This comes in and out. So as your child outgrows it, you can get rid of it. But the side impact protection is nice. And it has shoulder pads. So it's a little bit more comfortable for your child in there. But it's more snug. It's harder to get your baby in there. Of course, it's lower. Whereas getting your baby in here doesn't cause the backache that the Doona causes. So that's the Doona versus the Uppababy. Please reach out with any questions or put them in the comments.